Section 6.5, Assessing Normality. Key concept. In the following chapters, will include important statistical methods requiring that sample data are from a population having a distribution that is approximately normal. In this section, we present these steps for determining whether sample data satisfy the requirement of a normal distribution. In order to do that, we would construct a histogram and determine whether it is roughly bell-shaped, and we would construct a normal quantile plot and use the criteria given later in this section. Now, the basic concepts of assessing normality. When trying to determine whether a collection of data has a distribution that is approximately normal, we can visually inspect a histogram to see if it is approximately bell-shaped, and we can also use a normal quantile plot. A normal quantile plot, or a normal probability plot, is a graph of points x and y, where each x value is from the original set of sample data, and each y value is the corresponding z-score that is expected from the standard normal distribution. Now, we want to be able to look at the procedure for determining whether it is reasonable to assume that sample data are from a population having a normal distribution. Number one, we want to construct a histogram. If the histogram departs dramatically from a bell shape, then you conclude that the data do not have a normal distribution. 2. Normal quantile plot. If the histogram is basically symmetric and the number of outliers is 0 or 1, use StatCrunch to generate a normal QQ plot. Normal distribution. Now, the population distribution is normal if the pattern of the points is reasonably close to a straight line and the points do not show some systematic pattern that is not a straight line pattern. Not a normal distribution. The population distribution is not normal if either or both of these two conditions applies. The points do not lie reasonably close to a straight line, and the points show some systematic pattern that is not a straight line. Histograms and normal quantile plots. Okay, if we take a look at the figures here, it says, for a normal quantile plot, the figure below on the left shows a histogram of IQ scores that is close to a bell-shaped, suggesting a normal distribution. The figure on the right is the corresponding normal quantile plot showing points that are reasonably close to a straight line pattern, and the points do not show any other systematic pattern that is not a straight line. So it is safe to assume that these IQ scores are from a population that is a normal distribution. So this is what you would do at the very beginning of the problem with the data. You would first create a histogram to see if it makes an approximate bell shape. Then you would graph the normal quantile plot to make sure that there's no particular systematic pattern. Therefore, we can see that these lines somehow form a straight line. Now, when we have a uniform, we're going to see what these figures look like. The figure below on the left shows a histogram of data having a uniform flat distribution. The figure on the right is the corresponding normal quantile plot, suggesting that the points are not normally distributed. Although the pattern of points is reasonably close to a straight pattern, there is another systematic pattern that is not a straight line pattern. You can see here that it kind of creates this kind of curve on one end and curve on the other end. So therefore, if you would get this type of histogram and this kind of graph, we would conclude that these sample values are from a population having a distribution that is not normal. Skewed. Now, the figure below here on the left shows a histogram of the amounts of rainfall in inches in Boston for every Monday during 1 year. The shape of the histogram is skewed to the right and not bell-shaped, because you can see here if you go up, it's going to skew all the way to the right. And the figure on the left, the figure here on the right is the corresponding normal quantile plot, showing points that are not at all close to a straight line pattern. Therefore, if you got this result, we would say that these rainfall amounts are from a population having a distribution that is not normal.